Welcome back to the Polishing Podcast. This is your host, Nico, otherwise known as Nico All Powerful, and finally rejoined with my co-host, Pixelated Apollo.
Hello, good to be here.
He's back.
The weather's nice.
It is nice. It's sunny. It's like 60 out of here. It's great. But it's been a while. There's been 2 podcasts since you were gone.
Dang.
Yeah. The last one, I was like, I made sure to title it superhero stuff, so that way people don't have to listen to it if they don't want to.
Yeah.
And then
what did you talk about? Just superhero stuff?
We hadn't talked about like Spider-Man's Into the Spider-Verse, the animated movie, since we've seen it, and then we talked about
you
like
you have to make an Endgame podcast.
See, I think Ali and I might just do that, and like it'll publish under the Polishing Podcast, but I'll call it something else. That way, people don't have to listen to it. Like it won't go up on the same day, like that our podcast normally does. Just because, like, I mean, we're recording the podcast now, so we don't have to have one. Like it'll be a little extra something.
Right.
So if anybody is wants to hear our thoughts on that, yay! I don't think that many people do because I mean. We only got one comment that was like, I don't want to listen to this episode. I don't like superhero stuff, which is fine. So, I mean, it's still got like 20 downloads since it was uploaded, which was a week ago. I don't know. That is lower than usual, so that's not surprising. Anyway, enough about analytics. We don't got to talk about that garbage. It's Game of Thrones Day today.
Yay. Well, yeah, yay.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I guess I could make this go up the day the next episode comes out.
Yeah.
I mean, wait, we'll figure that out after we're done like recording, so we don't have to sit here and go, oh, that would be a good idea, back and forth. But yeah, so the episode 3, the Battle of Winterfell, aired last night as of recording this podcast. That's right, this is recorded way the hell early, comparative to usual when the podcast usually drops the day after it was recorded. And yeah, we have thoughts, opinions. We'll probably talk about the first 2 episodes as well, which, I mean, stuff happens, but it was more like, hey, here are all these characters. We'll
probably talk about the first 2 in relation to the third one.
Yeah. And what else? Before we get into all that, just in case you're new to the podcast, you can find the podcast everywhere you can find podcasts except for SoundCloud. So that's iTunes, Google Play, Stitcher, Podbean, Spotify, the good stuff. And then do you want to do comments first? Because I haven't touched any of the comments on the podcast since you were gone.
No, I think we should just dive into Game of Thrones. And then
you heard it here first, folks. Pixelated Apollo says, fuck the fans.
Look, it's fresh in my mind. Okay? It's fresh in my mind.
Hashtag it, fuck the fans.
And we'll do it at the end.
Okay, that's fair. All right. So, Game of Thrones. Do you want to start? Do you want to talk about what you're excited to talk about first?
Sure, yeah. So the battle scenes were amazing. Mm-hmm. Like the episode was really cool. People complained that it was really dark, but it looked fine on
also
screen.
Spoilers. Spoiler alert if you haven't seen the show. Duh.
I haven't said any yet, so thank God.
Yeah, you haven't said anything yet, but just for we're going to talk about spoiler stuff. So if you don't want to listen to it, fine. I mean, I don't know when we won't talk about it, when we will stop talking about spoiler specific things, or we will start. Just know there will be spoilers, so you've been warned.
Yeah. So it was awesome, but it gets to a point, and to me, it happens exactly when Jon Snow is running towards the Night King, kind of like outside of the fort. And that's when it starts to go downhill for me. Yeah. Because there's a ton of plot armor, and all of a sudden the zombies are like slow now. Mm-hmm. Like the first shot, which like you see them just like a wave, which was so cool.
That was like terrifying.
It was like, oh, this is it. Like they're all gonna die.
Yeah, because like Allie and I were sitting there as we were watching the Dothraki charge, and we were like, okay, this is pretty cool. And then it literally looked like they hit a wall of undead.
Yeah, well, the Dothraki charge was. it was a cool shot, but it was like tactically stupid.
Yeah.
Like the tactics of the battle were kind of dumb.
Yeah, their fucking siege equipment was out in front of everything, so they lost it first.
Yeah, maybe like they used up all their ammo. Maybe they didn't have
They
a lot of
didn't
ammo
though,
for it.
because they were like, "Stop firing!" Like they even said to stop. I'm like, why?
Yeah, I know. And why would you charge frontal into like like historically a cav charge in the front was like to cause fear, you know, and break armies.
But
That's an army of dead.
they don't have, they can't, they don't fear anything because they're not alive.
Yeah. So I would have preferred to see the Dothraki like charge from like the side, like surprise charge, even though it still probably would have been useless.
Yeah.
Or just like have them dismounted in the city.
Yeah. It's anything other than what happened because they got snuffed out like immediately. Though,
But yeah.
I think the whole reason for that is just to show like, oh, the Dothraki are like the fucking, because they're always talked up as like these fucking just relentless warriors that just keep fighting through anything, and then they just like literally how many come back, like maybe like what, a handful of dudes in Jorah come back from that charge.
Yeah.
And it's wild.
Yeah, the right away there's that first plot armor, he comes back.
His plot armor is not as thick as other people's.
No, it's not, but still. I mean, the whole scene was really cool. Like, besides the fact that it was a really stupid tactic, it was like seeing the light just slowly disappear.
Also,
and you hear like the screams.
Yeah, and the setup where everything, like, it's like the entire like first 5 minutes of the episode, there's no dialogue, it's completely silent, you just hear ambient noise from them walking around and getting ready, and then it's like music swells because Melisandre's here and she lit all their fucking swords on fire, and then as soon as they hit that wall of undead, like that first wave, it just, the music cuts out, and then you just see it from the point of view of everybody watching their swords start to be snuffed out.
Yeah, did the Dothraki have any experience with the dead? Like, did they even realize what they were charging against?
Not really. I don't think so. Because from what I'm remembering, like, I mean, they know of the undead because of, you know, them bringing back like one of the undead from behind the wall, but they'd never fought them.
They never seen them.
Yeah.
Yeah. So those poor guys.
Yeah.
But yeah, I thought that was kind of stupid. And then the trebuchet being in the front. And
Yeah.
It's just like, that's kind of, but that's I don't mind that. Like the poor tactics was like, whatever, it's fine. Like I said, what killed it for me is when Jon Snow is chasing down the Ice King, and then he like turns around with that bitch face and raises all of the dead, and I'm like, oh my god, Jon Snow's gonna die here.
See, I was like, Allie said that too, and I was like, I don't think he's gonna die. Like, this is the same director that did Hard Home and Battle of Bastards, and in both of those episodes, it looked like Jon Snow was gonna get his ass handed to him, and he somehow made it out. So I was like, I think he's fine.
Yeah, I guess I was like more hopeful of main characters dying, but
a lot.
It was just, it was just stupid. Like the biggest thing is like you showed the zombie wave charging in the front. Well, there was thousands of zombies around them, and they like charged them one at a time. It's like, come on, you know?
Yeah. No, that's just, you know, plot for plot reasons. It's like, well, we got either Jon makes it to the end or he dies some other way, and they have to get him through the episode.
Yeah.
My thing that I fucking, anybody who was like, oh, the crypt is safe, I knew that as soon as fucking, because I saw someone on Twitter go, oh, can't the Night King only raise the recently dead? And I was like, there are whole ass skeletons in his army. They don't have to be recently dead. So I knew the crypt wasn't safe, and I felt that. Also, that scene with Sansa and Tyrion, I thought for a second she was gonna kill herself.
Yeah, that's what I thought too. And both of them were gonna kill themselves.
Yeah. So surprised that didn't happen, because I was the only vibe I was getting there. Also, we skipped a lot, so I'm gonna backtrack. So Dothraki charge in, pretty much get wiped out instantly. Not even like, I don't even know that they really fought other than just getting killed.
Yeah.
And then Jorah comes back and he's like, oh, God.
Yeah.
And like the Unsullied are in the front and they're ready, and fucking Brienne and Jaime are there. And everybody's like, that's not good. Like, you could just feel the dread of everyone around them just being like, are we fucked? Like, you can tell that's all they're thinking. They cut to Grey Worm like so many times looking scared out of his mind, and the whole thing with the Unsullied is they're not supposed to know fear. So you know that's not good.
Yeah.
And also, I mean, it's kind of cool that the Unsullied have what is like the closest thing to a phalanx that we've seen in Westeros and just all of Game of Thrones universe. I'm just like, y'all need bigger shields. Fuck.
Yeah. Wormtongue.
Jesus Christ.
Grey Worm should have died.
Yeah,
there.
See, I thought he was going to die too. I don't know. It's weird because, like, there's so many, like, Brienne got like, both Brienne and Jaime looked like they should have died 3 times over. Sam might be alive at the end too, which doesn't make any sense. All right. Let's go through who did die before we complain about who didn't die, I feel like.
Yeah.
So
so there's like 6 or 7 characters.
Yeah, like
that died.
Like main characters. I think
main there was only like 3.
Well, I guess named characters that we like have cared about at one point or another.
Well, not all of them I cared about.
All right,
like Lady Mormont, like
little Lady Lyanna Mormont.
Yeah. I was like, all right, she's gone. Thank God.
People really liked her when she showed up, and she was just like hard as shit.
It's just kind of like cringe. I don't know. I guess it's cool because like it's a feudal system and it's like the last person of the family. And but when she's like yelling out commands, I'm like, you're like a 10-year-old. Like, come on.
Yeah, but she's the Lord of House Mormont. Like,
but usually there's like a regent that like takes their place until they're of age.
Apparently, she was enough of a bitch that she didn't need one.
I guess so. So she dies by a big old giant.
Yeah, that was nuts. I did not expect her to be squished to death.
When she first gets hit out of the way, it was almost like comical. It was just like, and it's like she goes flat. Yeah.
Fucking, that was wild. I think is the first person to die Ed, because he's like, get it together, Sam, and then he gets stabbed in the back.
Yeah, he's the first one to die.
Rest in peace, Ed. You've been with us since like season 1.
Yeah, I mean, to be fair, he's one of the lucky ones. To be like, because I wouldn't consider him a major character.
Yeah.
But usually those kind of characters die off.
Yeah. Let's see. There's Ed. Then I don't. Does anybody that named die out in front of the wall past him? I don't think so.
In front of the wall? No.
Yeah. I mean, I guess technically later on Jorah, but I mean, that's not. I'm trying to go in order.
Yeah.
Okay, so then like they know they're fucked out in front of the gates of Winterfell, so they retreat, and then it's Lyanna Mormont because the giant breaks through the gate easy as shit because undead giant, don't give a fuck. Then there was Beric because he saved Arya.
Right, he was another one, and that was like his purpose.
Yeah. Also, that I didn't like their foreshadowing's been way more heavy-handed than I feel like it's ever been before.
Yeah, it's feeling more Hollywood.
Yeah, because like Melisandre's like, oh yeah, you're gonna kill people with brown eyes, green eyes, blue eyes, and I'm like, well, all the whites have blue eyes, so I guess that's true.
Well, she said that in the 3rd season.
Oh, did she say blue eyes as well?
Yeah, she's like.
So that's like just a callback. Okay.
Yeah, it was a callback because when she took the blacksmith
Gendry
guy and then like put leeches on him and shit. Those are the scenes, man. I love those.
You love it when people get leeches put on their dick.
Yeah. Well, no, but she's like, I sense darkness in you. You're gonna close a lot of eyes, brown eyes, green eyes, and blue eyes. And the House Frey guy has brown eyes. Cersei has green eyes, and the Night King has blue eyes. So people think that she's gonna kill, which she's already killed 2 of them now.
Yeah. Oh wow.
Just Cersei's left.
So Arya's just the Kingslayer, basically.
Pretty much, yeah.
Kingslayer V2 short edition.
Yeah. I think my favorite death was Reek.
Oh, Theon.
Theon.
Yeah. He was just fighting, and then he knew he was going to die, but he wasn't just going to be like, I'm just going to stand here and let it happen. He's like, nah, I'm going to at least try.
Yeah, well, I mean, like, in terms of his story arc, like, it was kind of done. And, like, he redeemed himself. Not only did he go through hell of being tortured, he overcame that, and then he basically got forgiveness from
Everyone.
Or Bran.
Yeah. Sansa, Bran.
Yeah.
His own sister, like when he saved her.
Yeah. So it was like, he's done. And then he went out like a champ. So.
Yeah.
That's what that, yeah.
Oh, I think his death was, I mean, it was shitty because he died, but like, in the grand scheme of things, his story, his character arc was complete, so it made sense.
I mean, that's why I wanted Grey Worm to die, because you said that he sensed fear, and the Unsullied are not meant to sense fear.
Yeah,
but I think the reason he sensed fear is because his story arc is done, because he fell in love with that girl, and
Missandei.
because he has things.
Shit. There we go.
All right, you want to go do the laundry?
Yeah, you can finish your thought.
Oh, I was just saying. Because he has people he loves now and things to fight for instead of just being a slave soldier, he became fearful because he didn't want to lose those things.
Yeah, he has the reason the Unsullied don't feel fear is because they have nothing to lose, because that's all they know is fighting. They don't give a shit about anything else. Now he has things, so of course he would be afraid. Yeah. All right. And
so he should have died.
Yeah, I get that. Okay. Who did we say died last?
Reek. We were talking about Reek.
Theon. Oh, and then we were talking about how you wanted Grey Worm to die because of his character arc.
Yeah, because he was out there and he looked fearful and it looked like he was going to die, but...
Yeah. Then he retreated, and then Melisandre came out and lit that trench on fire.
Yep.
And
which is where he should have died.
Yeah.
Like, defending her.
Yeah. Let's see. I can't think of anybody else specifically that died off the top of my head now. A whole bunch of people in the crypt because that place wasn't safe and I knew it.
Why didn't they have any weapons?
I guess they were just like, or at least 1 or 2 soldiers down there. Like, I guess the whole idea behind having them in the crypt was like, literally, I mean, it's like, you guys are safe down there unless they break through, and then you're all fucked anyway, so why would you have weapons?
Yeah. It's just, I don't know.
It doesn't make a lot of sense.
Just like something to fight with.
It seems like all of their plans were kind of like, because it seemed like they thought they had way more time to prepare for this fight, because even when they went to when they found out the Umber kid was dead, they were like, shit, that means anybody who hasn't come to Winterfell yet is gone. Like, that means the Night King has went through and wiped them out already.
Yeah.
So it seems like they were like thinking they would have a little bit more time than they actually did. So maybe that's why they're like, all right, go to the crypt. Trebuchets out front. Just charge them. I don't know. It just seems very panicked, like, as far as strategies goes.
Yeah, it's true.
That, and it makes for a more climactic battle if, they're doing things wrong.
Yeah.
What else? The dragon stuff with the ice dragon, undead dragon. I don't know. We still don't know what that dragon, like, if those, like, the blue fire was really hot fire, or if it was ice fire, or what's going on there. I guess it doesn't really matter because it's dead now, but like...
Yeah, I don't know. It was cool at the end, though, when it was all, like, eaten up.
Yeah, like, because it had half of its jaw ripped off.
Yeah, and, like, fire was coming out of its neck.
Yeah.
That was pretty cool.
Yeah, it was a cool effect. Did the dragon Jon was riding die?
I don't know, because it did, like, emergency landing, and I don't think it did.
Yeah, that's the thing, is like, I couldn't tell if it was like it died or it just fell to the ground, because like the last scene, So skipping forward again, when Jorah's dying to protect Daenerys, like as he's like actually dead and she's crying, Drogon comes back after being what is essentially an undead pincushion. But he was pelted with arrows and stuff before and fine, so I'm not that surprised that he survived that. Plus, I can't imagine the small, like, broken swords and stuff that the fucking undead had were sharp, like, long enough to, like, hit anything major on a dragon anyway, even if there were a bunch of them doing it.
Yeah.
So I'm fine with him living. But he comes down and, like, whimpers around Dany, and I'm like, so we know she has one dragon left. For sure.
Yeah. I mean, I assume the dragon's still alive because usually, like, if something big like that dies, they want to show it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's the thing. That's why, like, this is going back a couple seasons. Fucking, what's that one guy's name? Stannis? I don't think that Stannis died. We didn't see him die.
Huh. Yeah, I mean, it's that is a little, like, rumor, or not rumor, but theory that Brienne actually didn't kill him.
Because is it like he's pretty much fucked up to begin with? It's just it seems out of her character and very unhonorable to kill a man who looks like he's gonna like bleed out and just die to the cold anyway.
Yeah, I mean, I could see her killing him though, anyways, because like he like killed the other Baratheon she was defending.
Yeah,
what was his name? I forgot.
I don't remember either. Yeah,
Renly.
Mm-hmm.
So. I mean, it would be cool to see him show up and like he becomes king.
I don't think it's gonna happen. I just don't think because like even back then, I was watching that season being like, he's not dead, right? They usually like no matter what character, they either show them die, like in the act of dying, getting killed, or after they're dead. Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's the only one that we've never like. It was like, oh, is he gonna die? Cut, and then we never know.
The lady, the red lady, everything she did usually worked.
Yeah.
And when Stannis burned his own daughter alive, like maybe that worked, and it's gonna show up at the end of the season.
Well, I'd be surprised just because she was like, I'm gonna be dead before dawn, and then she dies. Like, I guess. Like, so I guess that amulet was that an illusion that made her seem younger, or was it something that actually kept her alive? Because like I don't think anybody knows this unless maybe it's in the book. Like maybe that's more like explained in the book. Because there's that one scene at the end of an episode in season something where she takes it off and takes a bath, and she's an old woman. But here she takes it off, walks away, and then she just dies. Like her hair turns to dust and she falls over. So I'm like, maybe that was keeping her alive?
I think it was.
Yeah.
But I don't know.
But that was crazy to see. Also, I like that she shows up and just tells Davos, it's like, there's no reason to execute me. I'll be dead before dawn. And then he's just like, well, fuck it then. Because they even have that scene in episode 2 where that little girl has like a scar on her face, just like Stannis' daughter, and they have that moment where he's like, because you know that whole moment is just to be like, hey, you remember that little girl Davos liked a lot?
Yeah.
Yeah.
If
I'm surprised Davos lived.
Yeah, like
he can't fight like at all. He mostly avoids fighting, lives anyway.
Yeah, he must have hid in a barrel or something.
Look, that Onion Knight, man, he's crafty.
Yeah. Well, I don't. If the Red Lady can see the future, then
I don't think she can see the future. It's just she saw what the Lord of Light wanted her to see. Which apparently is accurate.
If she could see that they were gonna win, then she should show up and be like, "Hey guys, it'll be all right."
It's like, yeah, but then that would like I wouldn't be excited for the next 3 episodes at all if we already knew what was going to happen.
Well, yeah, I mean,
yeah, because.
But realistically, if she saw that Arya was gonna kill the Night King, it was like, "You'll be fine. Just have him."
So, just like. This isn't an Avengers Endgame spoiler, but there is the connection between the two right here. So if you don't want to know anything about that movie at all, I mean, you're already knee deep in Game of Thrones spoilers, so tune out this part specifically. I'm not gonna we're not gonna talk about it for long. There's a scene where Iron Man talks to Doctor Strange. It's like, is this still where we win? Because there's a whole thing in the Infinity War movie that's like, I saw 14 million futures and we win one of them, and one of the futures I looked into, and I was the parallel I'm getting from this is like, if Melisandre saw that stuff, it could be that if she told them how they were going to win, it wouldn't come to fruition. Because in Endgame, it's the reason, like, Iron Man stops Doctor Strange and is like, hey, is this still the one where we win? And he's like, I can't tell you because then it won't happen. So maybe the parallel I'm bringing is maybe she doesn't say exactly how they win or exactly what to do, because if she does, then it doesn't work.
It'll destroy the prophecy or whatever.
Yeah. Okay, end of Avengers shit, if you wanted to tune that out. It was literally 5 seconds and not that big of a spoiler, but still.
Yeah.
But yeah, so maybe that's why she isn't exactly like, oh, hey, Arya, just go stab the dude. Like, you know. Also, we're jumping all over the place, but it's kind of hard to talk about this in sequence because there's so many moments.
I mean, you don't need to talk about it in sequence.
Yeah, I know.
Everybody's seen it.
Yeah, it's just, I feel like certain things are harder to, like, what's the word I'm looking for? Grasp, I guess? Yeah. If you talk about it out of sequence, it's like, well, when did Jorah die? Just in case somebody was confused.
Yeah.
But, you know, fuck them. So the thing I liked about Arya killing the Night King was that the way they built him up is like, because I think a lot of people thought it was going to be some like climactic duel between him and Jon Snow or something.
Yeah.
But I think the way they built him, the Night King, as a character, is that if that were to happen, Jon would have just lost basically instantly. Because even as like good as a swordsman that Jon Snow has been shown to be, I don't think it would have mattered, seeing how the guy threw a spear at a dragon and killed it instantly, and it was a small spear. And like when Arya goes to jump at him, he literally turns in a split second and catches her perfectly. He doesn't kill her instantly because plot, but you know. So I was like, I understand if people are like, he went out like a piece of shit, like he just died, that's it. I'm like, I get that, but it's also, I didn't see that coming at all. Like at that point where the Night King was walking towards Bran, I was like, man, where did Arya go? Like she ran off and she's like, you know, we don't die. Like, what do we say to death? Not today. And I was like, where did it happen to her? And then you just see her kind of like fade in from the back. I was like, that's kind of cool.
Yeah, I honestly thought she like swapped places with.
Bran.
Bran.
Oh, yeah. Damn.
But I think you have to kill the person to wear their face.
Well, that's not true, because remember in the, when she's doing the training and stuff, she's like taking off faces of people, and one of them was hers. Like it seems like you don't have to have, like, you don't literally have to cut off someone's face to be able to use it.
Yeah, I guess that's true. So I mean, I guess I thought that was a possibility.
Mm-hmm.
You know, that
it was her sitting there that entire time,
and it was gonna get him off guard. But
I mean,
I don't know. It's just like they built up Jon Snow to be the anti-Ice King.
Yeah.
You know? And the whole story is built around these dead, like the White King, Night King, and everything. Like these whites and zombies. Like, this is the big issue.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it almost felt like the claim for the throne was a side thing.
Well,
but
I think I think the very first episode opens with the whites, and we're like, what the hell was that? And then they don't talk about that for the entire rest of the first season. They're like, undead zombies, whatever. And then that's it. Just, it's like, okay, I guess we'll get back to that at some point. I don't know when, but that should be an issue, right? And then they don't say anything about it. And then it really focuses on, like, you know, the Game of Thrones, like all the politics and stuff.
Yeah.
So I feel like even though the White Walkers, the Night King, the Ice, like all that stuff was like a really big thing, I think it was always second to who's going to take the throne. like who was going to end up in this story on the Iron Throne, in my opinion.
I mean, that makes sense. I don't know. It's just like it was the first scene of
Yeah.
that show. Yeah, of them finding the zombie people and stuff. So
Yeah, and then that guy.
I don't know.
abandoned
It
his
just
life.
seemed to end so like, oh, that's it.
I mean,
I
they
don't know
did
why-
say if you kill the Night King, everything he raised would die. So,
Yeah, I don't know.
but I mean, it was surprising how it ended, but I don't see like if they were like going like if they knew they were like, okay, they're gonna win the Battle of Winterfell, they're gonna lose every army they have, but they're gonna win. How do they win? A climactic Jon Snow Night King fight doesn't make any sense in my opinion, because it seems like the Night King is super strong and fast, and like just he couldn't be killed, or like you couldn't fight him, like he would just win that, you know.
Yeah.
So for her to like jump at him and just shank him without like, you know, him being able to react, because I don't expect someone to drop a knife like that. Goddamn little assassin.
Yeah.
So that was hype because it was a twist I didn't see coming at all. Like I literally did not expect that to be how that ended, because at first I thought the Night King was just going to kill Bran and that was going to be the end of it.
Yeah, I thought it was they were all gonna die at a point.
I mean, there's so many scenes where it's like, oh, they're like, oh God, we have a break for a second, and then the Night King raises all of the dead around them that we're just fighting with. So they're like, oh fuck, they have to
Yeah.
keep fighting. So
so I thought they were all gonna die there.
yeah,
I mean, that would have been cool if they all died, and then she got to root for Cersei to win. You know?
yeah. Which
I don't know.
I don't want to root for her for anything.
Yeah.
Fucking that weird facial hair having Greyjoy piece of shit. But
Yeah, that's the whole storyline I don't give a crap about. And that's another thing is like, after you're killing an army like that, dude, Cersei's gonna be easy mode.
well,
That's good.
I don't think she is, because they lost everything. Dany doesn't have an army anymore. The entire Dothraki and Unsullied forces are gone.
She has dragons,
She has a dragon, as far as we know.
maybe two.
Maybe two. Because, like, confirmed right now, one dragon, which is a lot, which is really good, but I don't think it's enough to kill the entire Golden Company, because I'm pretty sure at this point Cersei's gonna have giant fucking that like dragon killing device they had. It
Yeah,
was
that
just
big,
a
like,
giant crossbow ballista.
The ballista.
Yeah. I feel like she's going to have more of those in the Red Keep, and just in King's Landing in general, so that way they could fire more of those at them, because if they don't, then they would be dumb as shit. But like, fuck, like I'm like literally looking at the episode, it's like who lived? Like we got Jaime, Brienne, Gendry, like a bunch of named characters that should have died at some point didn't die. And we don't know to the extent of how much they're wounded. If they're wounded, will they just die to infection like fucking Khal Drogo? Who knows? You know, but like they're alive at the end of the episode. And like let's do a head count. Jaime, Brienne, the Hound, Arya, Sansa, Daenerys, Jon, Tyrion, the eunuch whose name I forgot. And now I'm trying Tormund,
Grey Worm.
Podrick. I think I said Gendry already. So like that's all those people. Only like out of all of them, like 10 of them can fight. Like, because I mean they lived through that fight because they were fighting, and then all they have left is a bunch of civilians and noble people that were down in the crypt.
Yeah, well, did you watch the sneak peek into the next episode?
No, I haven't watched any trailers, and I haven't watched any of the sneak peeks at all.
Really? They play it at the end.
I know. It started, and I was like, turn that off, Allie. We can't watch this.
Really?
Yeah, I don't
Doesn't
want to.
give anything away.
I don't want to know anything. That's why I haven't watched any trailer, because I'm like, I don't want to know anything about the show. This is the last season. I just want to experience it for what it is when it airs.
Okay. Well, I'm not gonna say it then.
Okay, cool. Because if you did, it'd be a dick move.
Yeah. No, I won't do that.
I mean, if you want to talk about it, it's fine. I mean, I didn't watch it, but if it doesn't give anything away, I avoid it because I'm worried it'll give stuff away.
No, that's all right. I mean, it didn't give anything away. It just showed that. Well, I'm not gonna say it.
I mean, I could deafen and you can say it, and then I can stop, like I can undeafen so I don't hear it when by the time, like, and then as soon as I see your little green circle stop, I can undeafen if you want.
No, it's all right.
It's not that big a deal. Okay.
There's no point in bringing it up if we're not gonna both talk about it.
Okay. So like for my knowledge of the episode, it's like, what are they gonna do against the Golden Company if they have no armies?
Yeah.
I
mean, it's obviously gonna be really small, and they might have to do like some secret ops tactic shit.
Oh, and then
It's
just
gonna be
kill
interesting
Cersei
to-
by herself and not like have a battle.
Yeah, it's gonna be interesting to see what happens with Jamie too. Like, does he go back?
I think he has to be done, especially since Cersei was like, "Hey, Bronn, go kill both Jamie and Tyrion with a crossbow."
Yeah.
Which is still funny because they have her hand say it instead of her, because Bronn and her, like the actual actors, don't get along.
Oh yeah.
It's so hilarious to think that like they shoot no scenes together because of outside drama, which is fine. Like, it's just like after you know that, you're like, the only reason he's telling him to do this and not Cersei herself is because of that.
That's funny.
But so we have that to deal with. Do you think Bronn's going to kill Tyrion?
I don't know. Honestly, at this point, I think it's gonna end, and it's gonna be happily ever after, and
I don't know about happily ever after.
it's just like after that battle, it's like, all right, well, this could be another cliche story. The good guys win.
See, I don't know. Like, Melisandre saying like, oh, you're going to kill the brown, green, blue eyes. Like, then people are insinuating that Arya's going to kill Cersei. I'm like, cool, we can think that. Doesn't mean it has to happen. There's no, like, it's not, I mean, yeah, it's set in stone because, like, the writers have already written it and they've shot it and it's done. But, like, that doesn't mean that's exactly how it'll be played out. My thing, no, what was I going to say? Oh, damn it. I had a thought. I had a reason for saying all that. Oh, it's gone. Damn it. I had a reason for bringing that up, and I don't remember it. I don't know. Fuck it. I remember now. At the end of the episode, Dany's like mourning Jorah's death, and like I'm like, Dany lost everything. Like, she has 2 dragons. Jon told her that basically he's the last male Targaryen, which puts him ahead of the throne of her. Jorah was the last person to talk some sense into Dany. This isn't good. She might crack. Like, she's already gone a little throne drunk, but she might like break after that.
Yeah, she might become the Mad King.
Yeah. What color eyes does she have?
Yeah.
Is Arya gonna stab her too?
Yeah.
Because like I'm thinking about, because I already heard that like people were like, "Where's Ghost?" And then in the preview thing, I've seen people talk about how Ghost is in the preview for the next episode, which is fine. I was thinking to myself, yeah, we saw Ghost charge in, but then he didn't come back out, and I'm like, yeah, but it's probably because of budget. That's why Ghost always disappears, is because they don't want to spend the budget to CGI him big.
Yeah, pretty much.
So I'm not surprised that we didn't see more of Ghost. I was literally he's not dead. They would not show it. Like, anytime one of the fucking dire wolves died early, like way back when the show was started, like they made sure to be like, oh, that one died, like, and tell us about it. So because it seemed like there was significance about the dire wolves. So I was like, he's not dead yet. It just seems like they're so caught up in like, oh, you think that person's dead, but they're not. Oh, wait, there they are, stabbed in the face. Like, they want you to know when somebody dies.
Yeah, it's true.
Which is fair. I don't like guessing, so that makes sense. I like the scene where Clegane freezes again during battle. where he's just like standing in an
Oh.
alcove, and Barrick is like, "What the fuck are you doing?"
He's like, it's hopeless.
Yeah, is that like the third time during battle where he's just stopped fighting?
Yeah, well, it was usually because of fire,
Yeah,
but I think that time he was just like, this is hopeless.
yeah. And then they're like, "Oh, we gotta make sure Arya doesn't die," which makes sense for him because he's like,
Yeah.
because they bonded through a lot of shit, so it would make sense for him to be like, "But God damn it, you tiny bitch," or
Yeah, I
as he
think-
would say, "You tiny cunt."
Yeah.
He loves that word.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah, I was expecting him to die too, but
yeah, I thought that. So if they had lost and he died, it would have made more sense because Undead Army versus Cersei, Clegane, the Hound versus the Mountain, both weird undead versions of themselves.
yeah.
But now that he's alive, I'm like, I guess we just got. They built up this battle like saying it took 55 days to shoot. It was like it's the longest battle in cinema, like TV show, movie, whatever. Like I'm like, so that means there's no more giant battles, right? Because like I have to imagine it's like they talked this one up so much because they can't do another big battle.
Right. Well, I'm sure there's going to be another battle, but it won't be as long.
Yeah, well, that's why when you were like, they might have to do like a sneak into King's Landing thing, I was like, that makes way more sense than having to do a full on siege or fight.
Yeah, because I just don't think they have the manpower to.
Yeah, they
Do a
100% don't. Like, there's just no way they could at this point.
Yeah.
I haven't seen the preview. If somebody's like, blah, 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 well, I didn't know.
I mean, the preview doesn't show anybody with mass armies. So.
Okay. We saw the very beginning of it where Cersei and that one, what is his name? That Greyjoy.
Oh, I forgot.
Whatever.
That whole storyline, I just don't give a crap about.
Yeah, just like whatever.
Right.
He's like holding on to her. They look over the Golden Army or Golden Company, and I'm like, hey, how do they deal with that? So, and then we stopped it. But yeah, so like there's one big army, and that's the one she bought. That's it.
Yeah, I thought the Golden Company was loyal to the Starks.
No, they're just mercenaries. You buy them.
I know, but like the guy who runs it.
Hmm.
So I wonder if like that will play a part.
I don't remember that being a thing at all. I just remember like the Golden Company's loyal to whoever has the most coin.
Yeah.
So
So they say.
yeah. I mean, I don't expect them to turn on them. Like it could happen, but I would be like, all right, what gymnastics do you guys got to do to make me believe this?
Yeah.
So yeah, episode 3 was wild.
Yeah, overall it was pretty good.
Yeah.
I mean, I just felt a little disappointed at the end.
Because not as many people died.
Yeah.
Yeah. Also, that scene where John's like trying to avoid that undead dragon, and at one point he just stands up and yells. I think he was just like, "Fuck it, I'll
He was
just die."
giving up.
Yeah. Because he didn't raise his sword like he was trying to fight the dragon. He was just like, "Fucking kill me, fuck this." Which
Yeah.
it seems like Jon Snow has been trying to die for a while. They just won't let him.
I know.
It's like Battle of
Like,
Bastards.
I can't handle this anymore. This world sucks. Just let me die.
It's like I died once already, and it was way more peaceful than being here. So let me go
Yeah.
back.
I mean, doesn't just one little cut with a sword would kill it, right?
I mean, it doesn't. I don't know. Like they're not very clear with how Valyrian steel dragonglass kills the whites or undead stuff because like.
It seemed like if you just slice them a little bit, they're dead.
Yeah, I mean, because like Arya stabbed him in like the Night King in the gut, but like there's stuff there that you don't want stabbed. Like it's not like she just like kind of gave him a paper cut on the hand.
But he's ice.
Yeah, I
Like,
don't
think he has vital organs.
I guess. I don't know. I guess John could have just like tried to get near the dragon and just get a little bit of something.
Little paper cut on him and
Yeah.
boom, dead.
Yeah, it just crumbles. I don't know. Because it seemed
Yeah,
like
'cause-
when the undead giant was walking into Winterfell, like after it burst through the gate, they were shooting fire arrows into it, but it wasn't catching a fire or dying. And all of their arrowheads dragon glass as well.
Yeah, everything.
Yeah, so like that giant didn't die until Lady Mormont stabbed it in the eye.
Oh yeah, that's true.
So
So maybe those weren't.
I'd be really surprised if they didn't like all have dragon glass tipped arrows. That'd be so silly.
Maybe it was just like, okay, these are fire arrows, so they'll just burn them.
Yeah.
But yeah, because like if you look at Mormont, Lady Mormont, she stabbed the giant in the eye.
Yeah.
That killed it.
Yeah. I mean, the eye's pretty important. Like your brain's behind that.
Yeah, but I don't know if the organs are functioning because you have skeletons charging in.
Yeah, I don't. It's very loosey goosey with how much damage they have to take before they collapse.
And they had those barriers with little like shards on it, and like as soon as they hit them, they died.
Yeah.
So
I don't know. Yeah, it's kind of they play it fast and loose without explaining it honestly.
yeah,
Because there's that scene where Arya is like sneaking around the library and stabs the one under the chin, and all of its like, I guess, stale blood ekes out of it, which was
I guess.
gross. Ugh.
I guess it was gravity, you know, because
Well, yeah,
I can imagine
It just it gets just
it
trapped
doesn't
in
have
there.
a heart bat.
Yeah.
A heart-
Which was gross because then it also fell onto her, and it was like, ugh, that probably stinks.
Yeah, probably. I mean, imagine the freaking fort now. It probably stinks
Oh my
so
God.
bad.
Well, it's the winter at least, so nothing's really decomposing that quickly,
Yeah.
except for all the stuff that got lit on fire. That would smell bad. Whew.
I assume we're gonna see like sunnier days now because they killed the Night King. And
I mean, the winter's still there, so I'd be surprised if it's like all of a sudden everything's fine, winter's gone. It's like
yeah, but I thought the Night King brought like winter with him
I think
because when it showed Jamie leaving King's Landing, it was snowing in King's Landing, which is like kind of crazy.
well, yeah, I mean, but like I don't know because apparently, like the way they built the world is King's Landing is pretty far away from Winterfell.
Yeah.
Which also doesn't make any sense because it was like, oh, it's kind of wintry here, but then cut to it this season and it looks fine. Like,
Yeah.
King's Landing looks like it's still got spring going on. What the hell's that about, guys?
Yeah. Yeah, that's true.
I don't know. I mean, I think it's still going to be winter. I think the Night King maybe he makes the winter longer. I don't know, but I don't think that was a terrible thing. It's not a good idea to go. Don't do that. I said, fucking longhorn, fucking eghorn, foghorn style. I said. It's like, what a weird character from Looney Tunes.
He should have died.
I think he did. Most of the Looney Tunes don't really get anything anymore.
Yeah.
Especially the Game of Thrones world. No, let Looney Tunes Game of Thrones win. When is somebody going to redo all of Game of Thrones but as Looney Tunes characters? Is Bugs Bunny
Hopefully
Jon Snow?
never.
Bugs Bunny's Jon Snow, right?
I guess so. We have to go through this.
we don't have to. Fucking God, no. So I don't know. Like I don't know. Yeah, I'm like, so we got 3 episodes left. There's no way there's gonna be like one of these big ass battles because there's just not enough men.
There's only 6 episodes?
Yeah, there's 6 episodes this season. We're halfway done.
Jeez.
Yeah, when we we leave for California next Sunday, on Cinco de Mayo, nonetheless. I didn't even think about that. When we get there, that's going to be the second to last episode.
Wow.
I think, right? Am I doing the math right?
Let's see.
Oh, no. There's 2 more after that. I'm bad.
So, yeah.
So,
Next episode's the 4th.
Yeah, and then there's 2 more. I'm bad at math. But by the time, wait. Oh, does it mean we're going to watch 2 there? Because I don't think we come back till the 13th. Oh, yeah, by the time we come home. Oh, jeez. I'm not ready. I'm not ready. Like, I just don't know what they're going to do anymore. Because, I mean, the Cersei stuff is fine for her to be the, like, hey, we still have to deal with this nonsense. But, like, what do they do?
Yeah. I don't know how this is gonna play out, but
I
I'm
don't.
sure a lot of people will die.
Yeah, I just like we still have to get to the next. Like we have to figure out. Well, Winterfell's ruined. Everybody's dead. Is there going to be one dude digging graves for like the next 3 episodes? Like what? You know. So I'm just like, what is like? They have to recoup somehow. So
Stannis Baratheon, he's gonna come back. Cersei's gonna kill everyone, but then Stannis arrives and he's like, "This is my throne."
I am the one true king, and John's just like, what the fuck, dude? Just standing there
Oh,
like,
he'll be dead.
oh yeah, that's fair. He'll finally figure out how to die without killing himself.
Yeah.
He's like, I want to die so bad. It's like, well, then just end it yourself. It's like, no, that's not good. Also, people have brought this up. Like I saw people talking about it. What was Bran doing with the crows?
Nothing. He
Yeah.
was just chilling.
Like that's the thing. Like we see that whole sequence, and it looked like they were near. Like he was looking at near the dragons at one point, but then nothing else. Like he was just with those ravens or crows or whatever, just so he could do that. Like he wasn't giving us like he wasn't like doing recon, being like the Night King's over here or anything like that. He was just doing it.
Yeah. He's like the most like what's the point of being Three-Eyed Raven when you're just sitting there, dude?
I mean, the
Okay.
other one was just part of a tree.
It's like, yeah, I feel like he's Three-Eyed Raven so he can look back in the past and fill in, questions and
Yeah.
figure out that Jon is king.
I mean, when they brought it up in like episode 2, where Sam was like, if I was going to wipe out all of humanity, like you, Bran, are like the most important thing because you can see the past and you could see anything of what, like any of our history. To get rid of you would be able to erase all history because if they kill Bran, they get through Winterfell. They're probably going to get to the Citadel and burn that to the ground too. So then all of humanity would have no record or anything of existing.
Yeah.
So it made sense the Night King wanted to kill him so bad. But past that, what does Bran do?
He sits
He's-
in a chair.
Is he just is somebody gonna wheel him up to the Citadel and be like, hey, I'm gonna extend your records of human history because I can see into the past?
Yeah.
Like what's gonna happen? Like I'm
I
interested
don't
to
know.
see what they do with him now that his whole thing is gone. Like because the Night King and him were intertwined a lot, and like him and all that stuff. So yeah, I don't. Is there anything else that you want to talk about that episode? I feel like we hit all the major points.
Yeah, I think we covered everything.
There's some cool moments, like when Arya sees that entire line of undead coming up the stairs, she just jumps and rolls over them. That was kind of cool looking.
Yeah. No, there's a lot of cool stuff. Really cool stuff.
Yeah.
That I really enjoyed. So it wasn't like it was terrible. I was just a little disappointed on the plot armor.
Yeah.
That's about it.
Honestly, Jaime Lannister has lived through too many things at this point.
Yeah, I thought he was gonna die because his character arc was kind of over. Like,
Yeah,
he knighted Brienne and he became a good guy. And
yeah, I thought, I don't know, like it just also like if we can talk about Jaime for a second, like during Dany's invasion of Westeros when she's really burning the Lannister forces to the ground and Jaime's literally running at her with a spear and the dragon's just like, oh, what up, bitch? You may have got me in the wing, but I don't care. And Bronn saves him. I was like, even in that episode, I was like, how the fuck did Bronn run that fast?
yeah,
I thought he should have died for sure right there.
he wouldn't be able to swim with all that armor on.
Yeah, that made no sense whatsoever. So Jaime should have been dead for a while, in my opinion.
Yeah.
His plot armor is thick.
Yeah. It's pretty. I mean, it's intense.
But I don't know. Past this, I don't I'm wondering what they do because what do they do? I don't know. It's gonna be kind of
find out
interesting.
next time.
Yeah, it'll be interesting next Sunday to see what's going down.
Yeah.
All right. I think that's about it from my opinion on it. I don't know anything else that I would talk about on that episode because that seems to be all the major points. Like everybody who died, all the major stuff after the battle, which we got 5 seconds of. It's like, oh my god, we won, and then that's it. You're done.
Yeah, it just didn't have enough time, you know.
Yeah. So
is that how long they're gonna be on? Because I know they get longer and longer. Is there one that's like 2 hours?
No, that was the longest one. So the rest I think are like an hour, 20 minutes each.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, but that episode was the longest. So, and I think they said it was the longest at 84 minutes. But then when you look at the runtime in the episode, it said like an hour 30 something. So I'm like,
yeah, but that also counts the like.
Oh, does it count?
Ads at the beginning,
okay, and then credits.
Credits, and then the like sneak peek, and then the writers and producers talking about it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay. That makes sense then. Okay, cool. Well, then that's the Game of Thrones stuff. If you didn't want spoilers, I guess you can listen now. I don't know how you made it 50 minutes into a podcast without listening to anything. You just kept skipping. It's like, this person died. Damn it. Skip.
Yeah.
Which is a terrible idea. Don't do that. But I feel like we should catch up on some comments before we close the podcast up, because I haven't gone over any, because they're directed at us. And when Moggs was on the podcast, it didn't make sense to do comments with her because, I mean, there's some of these directed literally at the both of us. So like it didn't seem right. And then obviously with Allie, same thing. I think... Okay, I know I went over this one because it's of the Frozen 2 trailer, so we don't have to worry about that. Bob Ross's alter ego. This is one I wanted to hit on for a while, but you haven't been around. Hey, Apollo, I heard that you did some voice acting in one of Daily Tactics videos. How was that?
It was good.
Yeah? Okay.
Yeah.
All right. And then he says, I feel kind of bad for mostly talking about stuff only Nico would know. What is your favorite episode of Dan Carlin has done in this in his Hardcore History podcast? And he says his favorite are the World War I episodes.
Yeah. I also like the Persian, the King of Kings podcast. That's a good one. And recently he's done the Japanese, like Imperial Japan stuff, which is really cool.
Cool.
So, I literally anything he talks about is just so good.
Yeah. Well, you heard it here first. Yeah.
But yeah, the daily to add more to the Daily Tactics thing, that was cool. I think I left a comment on his channel and he emailed me saying like, "Hey, do you want to be in a episode?" I was like, "Yeah," because I always love voice acting. So
yeah,
it was good fun.
I feel like voice acting can be a lot of fun. It's just a lot of work to convey the right emotions and stuff.
Yeah, because you can't use body language and stuff. But
you can use your body language to like you could do that to modify how you yourself feel, but you got to make like it. It's still like you can't use it to convey the same emotion. Like it. So like, all right. Let me try to get this out in a way that makes sense. I've seen like behind the scenes stuff of voice actors where they're like being really animated and stuff. And it's because they're trying to heighten the emotion they're trying to convey more. So they still do body language.
That Rango lizard movie with Johnny Depp. He's the
lizard. Yeah.
They acted that entire movie out.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Like literally acted it out.
Wow.
But just only used the voice.
That's a lot like how they do like mocap video game scenes now.
Yeah.
Because like The Last of Us.
They didn't do it like that.
Yeah.
They just used the voice.
Yeah. It's just funny to think about like the most recent thing is like Last of Us 2 and God of War, like these like PlayStation exclusive games where like they'll do like whole scenes where the voice actors are in mocap suits and they're like shooting the scene as if and then they just go in and put the video game stuff over it. And then they do the voice lines then, but then like they have to go through and actually do voiceover like we're doing the podcast where they're in a booth.
Yeah.
So they can actually capture it better. But it's nuts to think that like there's a similar thing going on in a Hollywood movie.
Yeah.
But yeah. He asks, what is your favorite accent and what is your favorite commercial after the his favorite episodes of Hardcore History were his World War One ones. I don't know about favorite commercials. That's weird.
Okay, so favorite accent? I don't know if I really have one.
I really like Australian accents.
Yeah, that's a good one. I like Irish accents and
Yeah.
even like Southern Savannah accent,
Oh.
Southern drawl.
Okay.
I mean, I don't. It's not something I really think about, but
Yeah. I mean, just like, you covered it. What about your favorite commercial? If you have one.
I don't.
Mine's gonna be
Honestly, like,
Allstate. Khakis.
I just see that's funny at first, but then it's just like they play it a million times,
That's fair.
and it just gets fucking annoying. I hate advertising. Like, I think advertising is important, obviously, but it's to the point where like Geico's got to go. I can't handle Geico.
You
Like,
can't
it's
handle the little gecko anymore.
I was even driving somewhere like, and there's a plane with a giant Geico ad,
Trailing
I'm like, I can't even get away from. I feel like I should contact a lawyer and sue Geico for harassment. So I don't have any favorite commercials.
That's fair. I'm particularly fed up with Geico and Allstate and like anything to do with car insurance because they keep sending me things and I don't have a car.
Yeah.
So don't do that. And then he says, also, I just want to thank Nico for recommending Dynamic Banter. Thank you so much, man. You're welcome. Hopefully this comment doesn't fuck up again like last time. And answer your question honestly, I have no idea why and how that was fucking up for me last time. How do I delete that comment or edit my comment so my name doesn't show up? I don't know. I mean, there's an edit button, but I think your name showing up instead of being Bob Ross's alter ego has to be like it's your profile thing. So I don't really know exactly how to fix that. Sorry, I'm not very good at this. And he says he can't figure out how to leave comments on Podbean. I don't know either. I've never tried. People have left a comment on Podbean and I've seen it, but other than that, I don't know. Like I can go to the website itself and it just says share or download. If I click the episode, to leave or reply comments, please download free Podbean iOS app or Android app. So you have to use the app to leave comments on Podbean itself. There you go. Well, I'm glad I clicked the thing to figure out that. That was easy. So thanks for the stuff, Bob Ross's alter ego. Lawrence is sad. Send love says, why do you two hate high school? That could be an entire podcast by itself. So
I don't even want to talk about that.
We're doing stuff we like right now. So yeah. And then Lauren said he's not going to watch the episode with the superhero movie stuff, which is fine. If you watch this episode, we still love you. But yeah, that's all the comments. There weren't that many. It was just like the Bob Ross's one that literally named us that I didn't want to go over until you were back.
Yeah.
Yeah. So Game of Thrones, it's good. It's good stuff.
Yeah, it's good stuff. It's a great show.
Yeah.
Maybe one of the best.
And that's like this episode was probably going to be like one of the most fucking like it's just going to be one of the biggest things in TV history forever. Like it's going to be talked about, like the fact that they took that many nights to shoot and like that this whole battle actually happened because like they had a bunch of extras. You could tell that some of those, like that shot in the beginning was just like of all the Unsullied. That was just people. Like that wasn't just like a bunch of CGI dudes over and over again or anything.
Yeah, when they're marching through the street.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like they hired a shit ton of extras for it. Like they built all of Winterfell. Like this is going to be like, it's like people are comparing it to Helm's Deep. And I'm like, yeah, like this is kind of like this generation's Helm's Deep, if that makes any sense, you know?
Oof.
Look, if
Helm's
I'm wrong,
Deep
go
was
ahead.
So much better though.
I mean, it's a great battle, but like I don't know. People are gonna talk like for the fact that this was a TV show and they did something on this scale is nuts because like people in like movies aren't doing this anymore, you know?
Well, yeah.
Like,
I mean,
what's-
the sad thing is like movies. There hasn't been a lot of good like battle type movies
Yeah.
in a long time. So
Well, especially like just fucking, medieval swords clashing, kind of battles at all. Like there's been like big stuff at like again, superhero movies, but like that people don't like the CGI superhero movie stuff, which is fine. Like but yeah, obviously there's CGI for some of the dead, like the undead, cuz some of them are literally skeletons and like
I mean, I'm sure there's a lot of CGI, like the big shots of the Unsullied,
yeah.
showing like all of them. I'm sure a lot of that CGI and stuff.
Yeah, but I mean, the fact it's just this battle will go down in history like because it's just like a fucking monumentous thing for TV. Because
Oh yeah.
I don't think has anything tried to do something this big on television before, like anything at all.
Television?
Yeah,
No.
yeah.
no.
So it's nuts.
Yeah, it's definitely like history making.
Yeah, just complete. Oh god. The only thing I had a problem with, it was very dark, which to be fair, like it's at night and everything. I mean, if you have a good TV, apparently if you like turned your brightness up, it was easier to see. And people were also saying like, I mean, like how many people are streaming the show? Like the bandwidth is going to have some artifacts and stuff in the data stream. I'm like, that makes sense too.
Yeah, I didn't have any issues
See,
with the battle.
for when Allie and I were sitting there, I was like, I can't, like, I saw our reflection in the TV. So I was like,
Oh, really?
Yeah, our TV's not a great one though. Like it's a smart TV that's 1080p and stuff, but it's one of the ones you can get off Amazon that's like big, but it was also like $400. So it's not like the best quality. It was just like, well, it's a big TV for our living room and we don't have a TV for our living room. So, but it's not like an LG TV or a Vizio. Is that another TV? I don't know.
Vizio's kind of cheap.
I
I have a Vizio, but
Okay. I'm trying to think of names that I like know are decent.
Samsung.
Yeah, like a Samsung or an LG or a fucking whatever. But it's not one of those. It's the what company is it? It's the the ones that have the Roku built in that's on Amazon that sell like
Yeah,
crazy.
yeah.
It's one of those, which the picture quality on them is not great. They just sell well because they're cheaper and they have a Roku built in.
Yeah,
So-
that's fair.
Like for us, it was like I could see stuff, but it wasn't great. So, that's fine. I mean, I get that that's like our TV's fault, not the show's. I think a lot of people just didn't have their TV either set up properly or they have a shittier TV than they think they do.
Yeah, that
But-
could be it.
Yeah. So I think that's everything. Do you want to mention our good old fashioned girl Josephine in her corner?
Josephine. The weather has gotten so nice that she's loving it.
Oh yeah, is she having a
Yeah,
good old time?
just out there sunbathing.
Oh,
Yeah, so she's good.
that's good. All right. Well, this has been the Game of Thrones extravaganza version of the Polishing Podcast. I mean, do you want to do an episode? Because by the time I get back and we have to record another podcast, we'll have seen the next two episodes. Do you want to do one like before the finale, or do you want to wait until the finale and then talk about our thoughts? Because we can do one before the finale and be like, what's
then
going to
after.
happen? And this and this. And then after, yeah.
Yeah, no, that sounds good.
Okay. So get ready for more Game of Thrones episodes, people.
Yeah.
I mean, it makes sense. We like the show. It's
It's 8 years in the making.
yeah, like it's there's so much build up to the end of this series. Like I don't know what's gonna happen. Cersei could fall out of that spire and just die, and that'd be the end of it. And I'd be like, what
She
the
trips.
fuck? Yeah,
She trips and just breaks her neck.
yeah, she could.
Alright.
Anything could happen. Like if that happened, I would be like, what the fuck? Like what? Like if at the beginning of episode 4, she trips and breaks her neck, dies. What is the rest of the season?
Yeah.
I'd be fucking My
She
mind.
wins the war, and then she goes to the throne and trips on the stairs up to the throne. And
Oh, just
breaks
get,
her neck.
or it's just like she falls onto the tip of a sword, like from the throne, goes straight through her head. Goodness.
Like, look, I told you not to make a chair out of old swords. Like,
I mean, it's a bad idea. You sit on it long enough, if you get any cuts, you're gonna get some kind of infection.
yeah.
Somebody told me that's like why the Mad King went mad, is because the swords cut him and got infected.
That's a stretch.
I don't know if it's true or not, but it could. Like, I'm also like, well, yeah, it's a throne made of swords. It's not
Yeah,
a good
but, like,
idea.
Yeah.
It's just like, think of all the things you could make a throne out of. Is a sword, like, or a bunch of swords melted together, your top 10 and all.
That would make all the kings go mad, though.
I guess it would make everybody go mad if that was the case.
Because if it's cutting them that easily, like, if it cut me once, I'd be like, sure.
Fuck this thing.
Like, I get the symbolism. It's like all the, like, people we defeated, their swords melted down. But, like, it's a pain in the ass to sit in.
Hey, anybody got some leather we can drape over this, so I
Yeah.
can not worry about that?
Yeah, seriously. Like, can I just get a wooden fucking chair? Like,
You just keep the throne there, put a small wooden chair in front, and sit in that instead.
Yeah.
Oh man! All right. So yeah, well, you got 2 more episodes of Game of Thrones nonsense coming at you to look forward to, and I think that's it. I think that's all I
That's
got.
it.
All right. So that's been this episode of the Polishing Podcast. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Share the podcast around, all that good stuff. I'm Nico All Powerful, Twitter, Twitch, YouTube, all that stuff. Go ahead if you want to plug your stuff, Trent.
I'm Big Leather Daddy.
He's bringing it back.
Yeah. I'm Pixelated Apollo, and don't you forget it.
Don't you forget about it.
Don't you forget. I'm on YouTube, Twitter. That's mainly what I'm on. So.
All right. Well, there you go. I hope you guys enjoy this episode. I hope you don't have anything spoiled for you that you don't want spoiled. And if you listen to this episode, you got a warning, so don't complain about it. And yeah, I hope you have a good week or weekend, whatever time you listen to this, and God bless.
All right. Stay clean, stay polished.
There it is.
Yeah, almost forgot for a second.